guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video we're going to look at Python dictionary. Let's get started. Okay, first, so what's a dictionary? A dictionary is a collection of key value pairs, very similar to lists. But if you remember, how you can work with lists, like you use index positions to access values from a list. Like with dictionaries, you have to use keys to access their values. Okay, so let's start creating some dictionaries, and yeah, let's work with it. All right, so first thing is, so a dictionary can be created in a couple of ways. Let's initialize a dictionary called emails. So that's the variable name, and we initialize it with curly braces, right? So now, yeah, let's just print it. There you go. So that works. You can also use dict, a function which will also create an empty dictionary, right? And yeah, so that's an empty dictionary. So let's now like define or initialize the same variable with some key, with a key value pair, right? So now here's the key value pair. The key is the name David, and the value is david.r@abc.com, and that's enclosed by these curly braces, and of course it's assigned to this variable, right? So now let's first actually do a type of this variable slash object, because everything in Python is an object. So let's see what this returns to us. Yes, so this emails is an object of class dictionary, right? So now if I want to access, like, let's say this value that we have stored inside the dictionary, so then you do something like this, right? It's very similar to how we access lists, but uh, with list you use positions, index positions like 0, 1, 2, 3. Here we have to use the keys with, yeah. So all right, so let's run it. There you go, right? So now it printed the value of this key David. So let's keep going. Now what if I try to access a value or a key that doesn't exist in the dictionary? What do you think will happen? So let's run it and see. And if you haven't realized already, so I am actually running these commands in repl.it. You see repl.it, and you can just go there and pick Python, repl.it. I am logged in, so you can log in with your Facebook credentials, and you can choose Python. So choose the Python language, don't choose the Python 2.7. Okay, so coming back to the class, so I tried to access a key which doesn't exist in the dictionary, right? So it errored out. So that's actually that's fine. We know that that's a valid error. So let's say I want to access the key, but I don't want it to error out, and I want it to like give me like a default value. Let's say in the it could be whatever. So it could be an empty string. So I would use this function called get. So the dictionary variable dot get, and then we're looking for this key called Sam, and then if the key doesn't exist, then I want, they basically, this get function will return an empty string, right? So you don't see it because that's an empty string. You could also return, let's say, a none, right? So that's right. So that now this returns none. So as you can see it. Okay, so now let's see how we can add values to this uh, dictionary, right? Now you can see here that we basically we can add new keys and assign values to it like this. So I'm adding like two keys, two key value pairs. So if I just printed the entire list, right? So emails, right? Let's do that. So you can see that, uh, yeah. So you can see that the two keys got added with the values like Brian and this, Tom and this, right? So what else can you do? Now let's say I want to delete this key value pair, David, right? So then I would use a command called del, right? Del emails David. So let's see, and then I want to print, I want to print, let's just print the entire uh, dictionary. So I want to print it before deleting and after deleting. So let's see. So as you can see, so before deleting we have David, the key David in the dictionary, and then after deleting, this key value pair is gone, right? So the next uh, thing is, okay, so now let's say I want to, okay, let's say I have another dictionary called new emails, right? So I'm going to remove the delete, we don't need it. So I'm going, yeah, so this is a new dictionary called new emails, where we have uh, a couple of key value pairs. In fact, actually, let's keep the delete because we're deleting David, and you'll understand why I want to keep it, right? So now what I want to do is I want to update my dictionary, and let me print the dictionary again. So what we have is, so basically you have a dictionary. All we are doing is we are adding a couple of more keys to that dictionary, which is okay, and then printing it. Then we delete this key called David in emails dictionary. Then we define a new dictionary which has David and Sam key value pairs. Now we ran a command called update and then printing the output. So let's see what it does. As you can see, initially we have, we initialized the dictionary with this, and then we basically added this second and third key value pairs. Then we deleted David, and then our dictionary looked like that. Then we ran the update command, which basically took this dictionary and then merged the key value pairs into the original dictionary, which is emails, right? So that's a useful command. Now what will happen if I ran a pop function? So a dictionary, so there's a function called pop. So basically I'm going to pop this key and its value using this function. So let's just try, and then the value gets returned and then gets assigned to this variable. So as you can see, so now the value that is assigned to element, which is what I'm printing, is the sam.ves@testmail.com, right? So let me also print the entire dictionary just to understand or to verify sam has been removed. Yes, so you can see that the latest print command did not print the sam key value pair. Now what if I added sam back like this? We know this, like, this is the key and this is the value, so we're adding it back to the dictionary. But this time I want to use a different command called Popitem, and then we print the element, and so I want to, there you go, I want to print this dictionary before popping the item, after popping the item, right? So let's see. Yep. So as you can see that the last print command does not have the key sam, right? This last print command. The one before that is the element. So you can see the pop item function return this tuple or tuple with this key value, right? And just before that, like, we added sam to the dictionary and then we printed it. So our dictionary had this key value, sam and his email. Then we pop the item. When we do pop item, it basically removes the last item or the last element or the last key value pair that was added to the dictionary, right? Okay, now a few more things. So I'm gonna, just for simplicity, I'm going to remove some of these commands. So let's say I remove maybe till here. We only need, yeah, maybe we can remove all these two. Okay, so now what we have is a few so we have a few more functions. So let's see what items function does. So I want to print this dictionary dot items. So let's see what gets returned. So we are basically returned with the dictionary items as a list, right? And the list contains a few tuples, and yeah, so the tuple, this is tuple 1, tuple 2, tuple 3, right? And these are key value pairs. So basically that's what the items function will return. So instead of items, if I just said keys, dictionary.keys, let's see what it returns. It returns a list of keys. If I said values, then the function will return just the values list, right? So that's that, and a couple of more things. So okay, so what's the length of this dictionary, right? So initially we have one, then we have two more key value pairs added to it. So the length of this dictionary is 3, which is what we get when we run it with the len function. And let me show you one last so let me show you one last function, and I'll make one important point and then we'll be done. So clear function basically. So we added all these guys, and then let's print it, and then we can remove the length because we know what it does. So let's see. As you can see that the clear function basically emptied out the dictionary. So now it just printed the empty dictionary. Basically, what type of keys can we have in a dictionary, right? So here we saw the keys were strings, right? David, Brian, and Tom. We know that that works, but can we have, like, let's say a number, like, in this case 1, and let's say no reply at testmail.com. So let's say if I added this key value pair, do you think it will go through? So let's print the dictionary as well. So let's run it. Yes, so it went through. So it added a key value pair called 1 and whatever, right? So that's fine. So what else can you have as keys? So basically anything that is immutable can be a key for the dictionary, right? So we know that, like, numbers, strings, the tuples, these are immutable, right? So let's actually try using because we use strings and integer, right? So let's try to use like a tuple. A tuple could be 100 comma 200. That's a tuple or a tuple. And I want to, let's say tuple at whatever. So this is the key 100 comma 200, which is a tuple, and this is the email. So let's try adding that to our dictionary, and it's possible, and it works. So the main thing is you can also see that the dictionary can contain a mix of data types, and a dictionary itself is a mutable data type because we've been like modifying this a lot, right? Yeah, what is not accepted is that if we try to use let's say instead of a tuple, if we try to use a list, because a list is a mutable object type, so a mutable object cannot be used as keys. So let's try to run this. You can say that it says that this list is unhashable, which is a Python language, but mainly yeah. So list and other mutable data types cannot be used as keys. Okay. All right, so that brings us to the end of the video. I will make sure to put the code link in the description, like the GitHub link in the descriptions. And yeah, so I would like your feedback. Please feel free to comment and give me your feedback, and I will see you with another video very soon. And if you haven't watched my my previous videos, please you will get a link right now on your right, and yeah, click on that, and then just chase that trail, man. Okay, all right, thank you.